I'm Di Hatchett. I've had a long career in primary education, which has included 12 years as a head teacher, a long spell as a senior director with the primary strategy, and latterly I've been director of the Every Child a Chance Trust, developing the Every Child a Reader and Every Child Counts programmes. My field of expertise is the development of high-quality approaches to intervention for those children who struggle with the development of core skills in literacy and/or mathematics.
Hello, I'm Dr. Maureen Lewis. During my career in education, I've been a teacher, an advisor, a research fellow in education and a director in the national strategies. I've worked extensively with teachers to develop practical strategies that really work, and have written many books, articles and classroom materials on all aspects of literacy. My particular interests and expertise focus on reading comprehension, what motivates children to read, and interactions with non-fiction texts.
Hello, I'm Marilyn Joyce. I spent many years teaching in London schools and advising on literacy in local authorities. I was part of the team that wrote the Letters and Sounds Phonics programme under the leadership of Sir Jim Rose, and I was Senior Director of the Communication, Language and Literacy Development team in the National Strategies.
As you'll know, however good the class teaching of reading in the school, there will be some children who struggle to make progress. So what are the typical characteristics of these children? You may see that they have limited language experience, and this leads to impoverished vocabulary and poorly developed speaking and listening skills. They may have difficulty with working memory. Retention, recall and rapid retrieval of relevant information can be a problem for them. They may have spatial difficulties, for example, left to right directionality or tracking a sentence from one line to the next. And what are the difficulties the children might have with reading? They're likely to have problems with self-esteem, anxiety, frustration. They might avoid reading or say things like, "We haven't learned that yet," "This is too hard for me," or even, "I can't read." Motivation may be a problem. They will often say they don't like reading and will rarely pick up a book voluntarily. They may be over-dependent on adult support. They'll lack independent strategies to solve problems, and they'll often look straight to an adult to supply a word or tell them what to do next. Applying their learning in different contexts can be challenging. For example, they may recognise many grapheme, phoneme or letter sound correspondences, but they don't apply those when they're reading. So how can we best support such children to make progress? Children who are having those sorts of problems and are beginning to fall behind their peers will need additional support through a focused intervention which provides structured programmes tailored to their needs. These need to include frequent opportunities to revisit and consolidate their learning. Such a programme needs to strengthen children's phonics skills and application, as well as develop their understanding of what they are reading. Engaging and exciting materials will build motivation, confidence, and reading stamina. All this needs to be underpinned by systematic teaching. These features will all help accelerate progress. So what are my top tips for supporting struggling readers? Early identification to prevent the development of entrenched feelings of failure and loss of self-esteem. Provide additional intervention with phonics as the primary approach and using a motivating, structured programme that builds confidence and independence. And remember that struggling readers need lots of opportunities for overlearning by repeatedly revisiting key knowledge and skills until they become familiar.
Here are our top tips for teaching phonics and reading comprehension. There is also fuller information on both of these crucial aspects of reading programmes in the other video clips in this series. My top tips for teaching phonics. Strengthen children's rapid recall of grapheme phoneme correspondences so that recognition becomes automatic. Ensure children can blend the phonemes all through the word. And practice reading the high-frequency tricky words such as they and was and come that are so critical for improving pace and fluency.
And my top tips for teaching comprehension? Remember that talking together about books is a vital element of extending comprehension and building engagement. Use a range of comprehension activities that teach specific aspects of comprehension. Use them frequently so they become familiar to the children and they can eventually use them independently. And know whether you're teaching comprehension or assessing comprehension. They're two different things. Many question and answer comprehension activities are more about testing what children know than supporting them in developing and extending comprehension skills.